are back as promised. If you caught our Instagram live this morning, we were at the Snowline Hospice and we did a major thrift haul.
We got all the things.
The poor woman who was packaging our stuff. I finally said, don't package
We'll just carry it right
We're
out.
just going to carry it. It's going to be fine. But yes, so we left with treasures and we want to show you what we got. And then we want to tell you what we're going to be working on today because Josie chose something to work on. I chose something to work on. And we thought it'd be fun to work on it here with you guys.
Did we tell you or did we tell you? We got quite a few dishes. And for this haul, we were going to kind of let the whole Grandmillennial trend and style guide our selection with some finished kind of projects and scapes in mind that are inspirational for that particular style. Mm-hmm. However, as always, you can use different colors and amend something to whatever style you like. We found these quite a few things have like a ginger jar feel. We got this set of 3 ginger jars. We got these metal larger. It was also a set of 3 in graduated sizes. Most of this stuff, possibly all of it, is not old, but it's the perfect style and aesthetic for what our project is. So it's gonna be super fun. We got this lamp.
Tell them a little bit about Grandmillennial. Some of them have not heard of that.
Okay, so Grandmillennial, depending on how old you are now, your frame of reference will be different. Grandmillennial is really steeped in a traditional foundation, very much like what we saw in traditional home. Very, very much like what we saw in traditional home. A lot of, I would say, sophisticated cottage with just some repeating elements.
I
like
love this little duck.
Ginger jar.
He's gonna be cute.
Chinoiserie woven through it. Bamboo chairs.
Chintz.
Chintz patterns. Back then we saw a lot of Waverly. It's very similar in the pattern mixing that we saw would you say in the 80s?
Yes, the 80s and 90s.
Yes.
And the predominant colors that we're seeing being used in this style is, and I think it's taking its cues from the China, from the, I'm going blank on the type of patterns on China. Pink tower. Yes, the tower.
Willow,
the green, jade green, lots of bright apple greens.
Depression glass.
Yes.
Depression glass is a very, very popular thing. You'll see collecting as a part of it. Many of the, bringing together a mix of either pottery or a depression glass in the rose colors or the green colors. You're seeing rattans and cane, very popular in it. We picked this little guy up because we thought, this would be a fabulous staging piece. It would look beautiful, either painted or as is. Both work in that style. We found some fun bamboo frames. These ones at a total bargain, which we think will look fabulous.
The other ones are actually over on the work table because we are going to be using them today.
Yes.
Here's an example of kind of a pink tower look that is really something you see a lot in the Grandmillennial style. Also the blue willow.
Blue
a lot of that.
There's a little tchotchke right there that is fabulous.
If you want to get a feel or a sense of this style and you're curious about it, just follow the hashtag on Instagram, do a search and put in Grandmillennial and search tags. And you will see all the things come up and you'll see exactly what we're talking about. But we thought it would be fun to take this thrift haul and make over at least some of it.
Yeah.
It was our inspiration when we were looking at what products to get. Yes. So we will probably do a lot of it in this Grandmillennial style and kind of deep dive into it a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. So as you see, like I said, there's
Look
a
at this.
lot of, isn't that fun?
Yes, that is going to be so fun.
Yes.
And this one here, we're going to paint the frame gold, and we're going to use the glass to do the vintage glass. It's vintage mirror. So we're going to have a nice vintage mirror finish on the center and then a nice gold on the outside. These we will paint all one color, probably white. And then we have some fun blue willow here, just for a little. We won't probably do anything to that. Just leave it darling as it is. This little guy here, I'm going to paint white, and I might steal him for my house because I love him.
That is so fun because it's so garish right now.
Right. It's going to be a
So
great
garish
transformation.
right now, but then when it's done up, a little lipstick and rouge.
Yeah.
It's going to be fabulous.
Right.
In the scene and in the
Ooh, and I
context.
love this compote.
Yes.
Again, it's going to be an amazing transformation
The
with some of this
classical-
fruit. We're going to paint this fruit.
The classical footed design on vases and compotes and lamps, super popular and super, super relevant to the Grandmillennial style. And of course, like Sally said, we found these fruits and we're like, oh,
Gotta have it. Yeah.
those are gonna be so fun.
Yes.
So this is a fish scale ginger jar shaped lamp. Can they see the whole thing? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, right there. With a nice square base, and it's not perfectly. It's not a perfect globe. It's, I don't even know what you would call that. I forget, but it's squished. We'll say squished.
Yeah.
But it's a fish scale ginger jar, and it's perfect. And we decided we're gonna paint this with that grassy jade green, this whole part, and then we're gonna do gold on the bottom.
Go bold or go home, baby.
Go bold or go home. And then on the shade, which is right here, we are going to do a diluted whitewash on it, just to kind of give it a little more depth. It's a nice linen, but it's not an expensive shade, and we feel like giving it a little more depth is going to both make it a little more quality feeling and give our stamping something to grip onto really well. And we are thinking, and tell us what y'all think in the comments, of we created a pink tower red, and stamping lightly on this to create a toile to go with this jade green lamp.
That would just, okay, expounding on this a little bit, that would normally not be our choice to mix a pink tower color with a jade green, but that's something that we're seeing in the Grandmillennial style, and we wanted to play it.
There's
and
a
have fun.
touch of maximalism. You can almost say
Yeah.
sometimes it's like cottage maximalism.
Yeah,
Would you say?
I would say.
Yeah. So
would say.
we're gonna do it. Like Sally said, go big or go home.
80s
if we
traditional,
yeah,
cottage maximalism.
totally.
Yeah.
And it's paint, so you can paint it again if you want.
We
So
might
why not have fun?
just paint it again down the road.
Yeah, totally.
Now we talked about Josie's project. I am going to show you guys what I chose to work on, what I was the most excited about in transformation. And let me grab that. I have a vision for this. This is a bamboo frame that we picked up. What was the price on this? The tag isn't on it. I think it was $6. And the center, I'm going to just remove everything out of the middle. I'm going to paint the frame with we call it stinky gold paint, but a more accurate term for that paint is what again?
It is they call it liquid leaf.
Liquid leaf. There you go. There's many different brands. You can get it at a lot of our stockists carry it, so try there first. Support our stockists, please. And it is just a really rich, thick gold. That's beautiful. So I'm going to use that to paint this bamboo outer part, and then I'm going to remove the inside. And I found this watercolor paper in our back supply closet. I just got this again from a craft supply, and it's just a watercolor texture. I'm going to cut it to size and do kind of a vintage wash on the paper. And then I'm going to put our Flora Parisiensis. I can never say that right, but you guys probably can't either, so that's okay.
Like the fancy names that we can barely pronounce.
It's true. And then I'm going to put that transfer on it and put it in the frame. So that is going to be my contribution to Grandmillennialism. And so I'm going to get started just by removing the inside parts. So I'm going to go grab some tools. Oh my goodness, it's already beautiful.
Isn't it becoming amazing?
Yes.
And you know what? The fish scales
I'm
give it
so
kind of
happy.
a fantastical look.
Yes,
Like,
whimsical.
Yes.
Yeah, almost mermaid.
I love this pattern. And it's not just a fish scale, it's a fish scale with a little like buckle detail on there. So no, what I'm thinking is I'm feeling like gold should go up to here. I feel like that's the most natural transition, but I want to hear what you guys think. So I'm not painting down that low. I'm just getting it. There's little nooks and crannies you gotta jimmy jam into with your brush. It's not hard. Just
Jimmy Jam.
takes a minute. Jimmy jam it on in.
These anymore.
I'll get in.
So I'm gonna take the lazy way out, I think, and I'm going to leave the back, this thing on there, because I see no reason to take it out. I'm gonna need to keep it on there anyway when I'm done. So I'm going to take a razor knife and just cut the paper around on the back. All right.
This is definitely going to be a statement lamp.
It is. This is
gonna
so
be fun.
fun, guys.
And this is just FYI, a type of resin. You know the resin that they make that is made to look like wood, typically like carved wood or what have you. So. And it was $12 at the Thrift.
So these are just those staples if you're wondering what I'm doing. Voila! One piece out. I love it when you can use the previous what was inside the frame for sizing. So I'm going to use these for sizing, to size my paper, and I'm also going to use this tag board to create some bulk so that my new picture is nice and snug inside. So I'm going to set those aside for now. I'm going to remove the glass.
So do you agree where the green ends and the gold begins? I'm thinking gold up to here.
And then, so the whole
And
base
the
will
whole
be
base
gold?
gold?
Yeah, I think that's pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
So-
a lot of gold, but not too much.
And
I don't
I'm
think it's too
thinking
much.
that doing the stinky gold, but then later after it dries, doing broken actual leaf over it. For a
Oh,
really
yeah, just
rich
give it that touch. I agree. It's in the details that add depth and character, and when you can take a shortcut and add just enough, that's always nice.
Yes. And I am going to take that off just to do it right. Be right back.
Okay. It's hard to get the glass out. Oh, I have an idea, Sally. Why don't you turn it over and let gravity help? Got it. And now I have just the frame, and fun part, I'm gonna start painting gold. Josie's almost ready for gold too.
I'm super excited to see how this comes out. It's gonna be fun. It's fun to try things that are different than what you're usually doing, different in style. Changing it up a bit.
What's that?
Said I'm excited to see how these come out and start pulling the pieces together, because that's one of the things about this particular style. I feel like it's in its element most when things are combined.
Yes.
Patterns and textures are combined. The china and the ginger jars and all of that.
I totally agree.
Okay. I'm going to now get in there and I'm going to do a quick, I think, second coat on it.
If you're sensitive to smells, you're going to want a mask for this paint.
You really are supposed to use a mask no matter what. Just putting that out there. And, oh, see, they need to see that.
Okay, they can't see that?
Not really.
Okay. See it? I know.
It's the
I know.
the liquid molten gold just going on it.
Yes.
But yeah, a fan, and that's so easy to do. Like, watch this.
Yeah, but that's gonna be noisy.
Oh yeah, it is. Okay, well, I'll just open the front door. So it's well ventilated.
All right. I suppose safety is important, especially since I pray these. Yeah, that was smart. Thank you, sister.
You're welcome. Now,
This is delicious. Let me show you what is happening here.
that's pretty.
Oh,
For those of you who are stockists or flippers or in this industry for business, for making money, I think it's really smart to be checking up on the trends and seeing like what are the things like that I can offer in my market that might appeal to a wider range than one specific niche. And this is a great example of that.
I think one of the reasons why this is called Grandmillennialism is because the millennials think they thought of it. I'm just kidding.
No offense, millennials.
No offense, this has been around a while. Just kidding. They reinvented it in their own version, and I love it. I'm loving what they're doing with it. It's really fun. But I think that's why they call it that, is because of the age group that is really loving it right now. But it's not limited to an age group. Josie and I are in our late 40s, and we're enjoying it too.
And the thing of it is like this is such a great example of the truth that we are always weaving into our talks about style. Mm-hmm. There are mainstay traditional things, elements, and concepts that will never be out of style. They may not be at the height of trend all the time, but they're never going to go out of style because they're good design. Things like bamboo and cane and ginger jars and strong floral mixing, things like that. Those will never be out of style, even if they're not my cup of tea or your cup of tea. The things that are super traditional are going to be mainstays.
That is the truth. And there's certain elements and style, I hesitate to call them rules because nobody wants rules. Principles, there you go. That are also just, I think it's human psychology is what is behind these principles. When we look at something, the way we respond to them is nice. So seeing things in odd numbers is somehow more soothing, as well as pattern mixing in different scales, different colors, different size, or scale is size, different like busyness. So larger scale that has maybe a little more
heavier or lighter patterns.
Yes. And mixing those so that they're not competing with each other. That's just good design principles. Those never go away. So taking the time and investing some time in learning those principles is really wise. Okay, I think I've covered. I'll leave this for you. And I'm going to set.
So tell me if you agree.
Okay.
My people.
Okay.
So I went in with for the second coat, just a 2 shades lighter, and I said, oops, that was too much lighter. And I mixed it half and half, the original color and the lighter color. And then when I put it on though, I kind of liked the, here, can you see? A little bit of
Variation.
I
like
it
that.
adds, I don't know how well you guys can see, but it just adds, yeah, just some depth and a little bit of visual interest and texture. So I'm gonna go with it, and we're gonna see what we think when it's all done. Oh, I should have taped that. See there, you can see what I'm talking about.
I'm just going to, the stinky gold paint is hard to wash off. So I'm just gonna put it in this plastic so it doesn't dry, so the brush tip, the hairs don't dry out. So it's ready for Josie when she's ready to paint gold. And then I'm gonna set this aside here. You know, I'm contemplating not doing the vintage wash on the white paper.
Yeah, just
only
keeping
because
it
I'll
clean.
have to let it dry.
And before
then
you apply.
Yeah, before I apply the transfer.
You could do it after the transfer.
Let me do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
But do it so light because
Yeah.
that's a really nice creamy color of art paper. It's like a heavy watercolor paper.
Yeah. Okay.
See how the shade?
Yes. I am loving those together. Of course.
Dark here.
Oh, and it doesn't have any lid.
I'm at a weird angle, so I'm gonna get this first one from this angle. Oh, that's better.
That is so pretty. Okay, I'm gonna use a pen, and I'm just tracing this onto the watercolor paper that I'm gonna put the transfer on. And Josie and I decided we're going to do, or I'm going to do the wash after I put the transfer on, so that I don't have to wait for it to dry, and I can keep moving along in my project. But I'm using the tag board insert that was already inside the frame for my sizing, and I will also use that same tag board to create some bulk behind my picture. I'm gonna go get the paper trimmer.
Now, I don't know if we'll have time on this live, but when we go back in after this is dried and apply in a non-solid application the true gold leaf, you'll see a little bit of contrast between the two golds, and it'll be just really rich.
I'm using scissors to cut this rectangle out because the piece of paper I'm using is poster board size and it won't fit into the trimmer. But I'm not being careful because I'm going to use the trimmer to straighten it up using the lines I already created from the tag board. Okay.
Who remembers, and it's not like it's not a thing anymore, but when I think of chintz pattern mixing in Waverly, I remember that coral pattern, and typically it was in the rose color.
Yeah.
Like the pink
like
flower
the
color.
ocean coral.
Yeah. Oops.
I remember
And
that
all
very
over.
well.
Who remembers that?
I was all about the Waverly back
All
in
those
the day.
beautiful patterns.
Yeah.
They are masterful at their pattern, their collections, and their pattern mixing.
See, you were just quiet again.
Okay, gold done.
There you go.
Sorry, guys. I'm gonna really try to be loud. Comes easier for
Let's
some
get-
of us.
Oh, ho, 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 ho.
Okay, so
That
we are
is
coming along.
gorgeous.
How different does this look, right?
I know, it is. It's so beautiful.
We're gonna let it dry,
Mhm.
and our plan is to use, typically, I love matte finishes. However, sometimes I like to be about the gloss. In this case, I thought, let's do a gloss finish on this, so it'll amplify the pottery look. What do you guys think?
Mhm.
That's what I'm thinking.
I love that idea.
Okay.
So
Let's
I looked on the back
this
of
aside.
here, and
Dry.
I chose this bloom.
Just look
Are
at
you
the.
okay?
I am.
Oh.
Look at how beautiful those flowers look with that.
Oh, yes. It is. It's going to be so pretty all together. We're going to stage it all for you guys and take a final beauty pick.
I'm gonna
So
set
you
this
can
up
see
with
it
a
all.
fan in the back.
Okay. So I'm going to take that bloom and cut it out, and then I'm going to pull a stem that is nice and long because I'm working with a vertical rectangle shape. And so I chose these ahead of time, and I'm going to work with the first sheet has the nice big cottagey bloom. If you guys have not yet been exposed to Flora Parisiensis, whatever it is, it's beautiful. It's really pretty. It's warm pinks and some real creamy whites, and super very versatile because you can use it to cover a full piece, a full dresser, or a large piece of furniture, or you can do what we're doing and use it for small decor as well. So it's just a really versatile design. And with our patented grid backed sheets, it makes it much easier to align the whole thing for a full piece. And we've designed it in such a way so that they fit together like a beautiful puzzle and there's no guesswork. There's a lot of room and margin for any error, so you do not have to be intimidated when applying this design or any of our transfers for that matter. They are all very easy to use. So I've got my bloom, the top of my flower here, and I'm going to go ahead and apply that first. So I'm going to separate the sheet backing. I don't know, honestly, if I have ever applied a transfer to paper. Done it to many, many surfaces, but I don't know that I've ever done it to paper. So
I'm just giving this a little spritz to help kind of keep the paint fluid on the surface as I apply it.
I want to make sure that this is going to show, so I'm arranging it so. There we go. Okay. And I'm down, I've committed, and now
Add a little more water. Be right back.
Pressing in, I've got it on my paper and I've laid it down and given it initial, pressing it onto the paper. It's not transferred yet. I am going to go grab a transfer stick so that come with the transfers. Our transfer sticks are awesome. Again, we always look to improve our products, make them more user-friendly, and these have evolved as well. So they're a nice, very thick, they're not gonna break on you, but they've got rounded corners, so it's not gonna scratch into your surface at all, and they're very easy to use. and I am transferring. Okay, this is transferring very easily to the paper, which is always nice. Sometimes, depending on the surface, it transfers differently. Transfers go on very easily to glass, so you have to be careful. Once you lay that puppy down, there's no moving it.
Like, I'm here to stay.
Yeah, I have found my forever home. Okay, that was easy peasy, a lemon squeezy. Oops. Okay, I've made a mistake. It's not the end of the world. I got a little ahead of myself right here when I was transferring. I got into a hurry, so I'm going to fix it. Where did it go? Oh, I see it. I see it. I see you. I see you. I hear you. Okay.
I've actually never done this on a lampshade.
We are doing all kinds of new things with you guys today. I am going to forget trying to fill in that little gap that happened because I just want to get this puppy done. So I'm going to lay it back down, and there is a large piece that's missing, and I'm just going to fill that in with a little bit of something else, either paint or who knows. It always works out. Always works out.
I'm using, this is a pretty, it's an art brush, broad, large, but it is pretty stiff bristles so that it can stand up to the texture in this linen type material.
So you can kind of see right here, my little missing chunk. We're gonna figure that out later. I'm not even worried about it a little bit. Honestly, you probably won't even notice it when it's all put together. Now, I've got to pull out my stem. And let's see. I'm going with this stem on the end. So I'm going to cut it out first.
Okay, this is great. So I'm gonna leave some of this, it's not totally solid. I could go in totally solid, but I don't know, I feel like that's gonna look good. What do y'all think? So.
Yeah, I actually like it. Yeah, I like it like that.
Yeah. Okay. Oops, here's a little bit light on this spot here. Who likes, and this is totally from, like, that, I want to say, I mean, I know I'm really associating Waverly with it, but that's what I think of when I think of, like, those interiors in traditional home, like Waverly, all the patterns. And one of the things that I also remember is all the trims, like the special trims. And if you wanted to go really extra, after the rose toiles on this, you could do a tiny little silk trim around the edge. That would be kind of fun. So that just came to mind while I was doing it. That would be super extra.
Yeah, it would.
But fun.
But I love those little trims and accents. Yes. And that is another thing that is super consistent and was really big back then too, is like tassel trims, rope trims.
Yes.
All the trims. And I'm still partial to those.
Yeah. So this is gonna be, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be a little tricky. I'm gonna probably need you to help me stabilize the position of the lampshade while I apply the stamp. And because these are not rigid sides, I'm gonna have to go juicy and slowly and firmly get that on there.
Yeah, I agree with that approach and strategy.
I'm wondering if I can get
I wish you guys could see this. The transfers on the sheets, the way they fit together is not straight across. It's like a puzzle. It's fit together in areas where if you don't get it right on, it's well camouflaged. And so I kind of wish you could see this right now, what I'm doing, because I'm lining it up into that, getting it down.
I might try doing it, just keeping it on the sheet, which I know is a little bit, oh yeah, see how well that lines up, and that's fabulous.
It's perfect.
And then from beneath, kind of, can you see from here? From beneath, do this. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Do you need my help?
When it's time, I will need your help, I think.
Okay.
And then I'm going to stagger the pattern so that the repeat isn't redundant or mechanical.
Okay.
And just like a brick stagger.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And nice and tight. One thing about the pattern layout is one of the mistakes I see most often when laying out your pattern, especially when you're using our stamps and you're creating a pattern, is going too spaced too far apart. Mm-hmm. So make sure that pattern is close enough together to where you don't have too much white space. It's nice and snug, but not overlapping. Maybe most of the time, like a ½ inch to an inch in between on all sides is about right. Okay, I've got my transfer laid out. Isn't this beautiful? This is gonna be gorgeous in that gold frame. So I'm gonna go ahead and start transferring it on. Got my stick. This time I'm gonna be a little more careful.
I should probably go let this dry.
Okay. Oh, let me see. Oh yeah, it's very wet.
It's very wet.
I might have gotten
paper on it.
No. I thought I might get gold on it, but no. I don't think that was me.
So I'm deciding if I love it just like this or
Yeah.
if this needs to be lightened at all. What do you think?
I love it.
Just
I
like
don't
that?
think it needs to be lightened.
Okay.
I do think a gloss finish
Mm-hmm.
would set it off,
Mm-hmm.
but the color I think is spot on.
The only thing I was thinking is if we wanted to do like a white wash and wipe off. But I think that we're pretty.
I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I think
just go with the solid.
Yeah.
Jade
There's
green.
so much
Okay.
going on with the pattern and the texture
Yeah.
that I feel like doing a whitewash is just going to be too much.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and seal it then. I'm not gonna distress it. You could distress it. What do you think? Keep it clean?
Keep it clean.
Okay. There is just
For
like
this.
little bits of the color depth, the kind of dark wood color coming through just very
Just
faintly.
enough.
So, all right. I'm going to get some sealer. I love applying finish onto really irregular surfaces. Just kidding, I don't at all. It's
That
kind of
is
stressful.
so pretty though.
It's kind of stressful.
Yeah, it is. Make this a little easier on myself. I'm just going to trim the excess off.
Disclaimer, this would have been better to let it dry like till the next day so the paint is more cured and you know you're not going to get any reactivation, but you know we're alive and we want to show you. So
Sorry.
also, if you do a project like this at home, do the gold paint last. I was not, because I was trying to fit everything, timing for a live, so I knew that I'd be able to get that done and dried and out of the way if I did that then. But really, it makes sense to do the gold last after you do the finish. Because then if you drip on it, no big deal. And there will be drips.
That's all right. You can always put another coat of the gold paint over it.
Yeah. It's not too bad. I only dripped once on it, but.
Okay. Okay, I think I've got this all applied. Nope. So you just slowly lift and look. If you guys have never used our transfers and you are frustrated right now because you can't see what I'm doing, just know you can go to our YouTube channel and there are a lot of videos on it with us going deep into the use of our transfers. In fact, if you go to our website and go to, Stephanie, will you just link to the transfer basics video? So we go all into that and how to use them, all that good stuff. For some reason, some of these little pieces are being a little more stubborn with how they are transferring onto the paper. So I'm just being persistent. But I'm tempted to be in a hurry and just leave those. There we go. Okay. Good. I have got my rows all done. I love it. I think it's just beautiful. And now I'm going to do a little bit of a wash. I do like it with the white background, but I just feel like it would add just a little bit of character and vintage charm to add just a little bit of wash to it.
Look at it in this frame real quick just to get inspired.
Okay, I will. So here's the frame that I upcycled earlier if you're just joining us. I just took everything out of it and painted it gold with some liquid leaf. Ooh. Oh, that's gonna be pretty. Oh, guys, is that beautiful? It's gonna be so pretty. Look at them together. Ah, I just love it. That gold paint isn't quite dry yet, but
So
I do think I'm gonna put a little wash on it. I do.
So what's cool is a little bit of reactivation on this because it barely had time to dry. It's just like dry to the touch. Looks really, really good. It adds depth that I'm glad for. Okay. We are about done. I'm just going through and tending to little drips because on this particular pattern, a dimensional Fishscale, it's got little horizontal ledges in the pattern that catch. So when you're going down or up, it's catching. So you're gonna go back and just tend to the drips. But that's looking really cool. Just gently so you're not reworking unnecessarily. Some of it you may have to like dab to get like a full-on drip or bubbles or excess. And this one, by the way, I didn't mention that earlier, has a crack in it, but it's not wobbly. It's just, now if I keep holding it by the neck, it might get that way. Okay, that's good. You'll get to see it. I'm gonna go put it under the dryer again and get the shade and move on to the next step. But quite a transformation, I would say. Now, I've never stamped a lampshade before, so you're in for a treat. Live, people. This will be interesting. I think this way is not a big deal. Oh, what?
paint
press
chips. I've had that happen where I don't cover
this
the top,
way.
and I shake these FIFOs,
this way.
and paint goes everywhere. So I just chose like a light brown, well, medium brown really, and I'm mixing it with water. And I'd say like 1/3 paint to 2.
That's gonna absorb it really fast.
Absorb the.
The paper's gonna absorb the wash really fast.
Do you think I should use a glaze?
I'm thinking wet it first,
Okay.
and then put that on like just super, super watery. And then build that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's nice and watery. That
Yeah.
seems like way more watery than,
Well,
Yeah.
I just want a hint
yeah.
of age.
Is that the color you're going for?
Yeah, that'll work.
All right. Nice.
It's a little warm. Do you think it's too warm? It's a little
it's not that
pinky,
it's
huh?
warm. Yeah, it's
It's got-
pinto bean. It's pinto bean brown.
Pinto bean brown. So add a little gray to it, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little.
I was
I'm
hoping
thinking
to
a
just
little-
find a color.
A little. It's so sketched it. Here, I'll do it on here. There. And then on here. And then get your brush. Oops.
Okay. I don't have a brush yet.
This one works.
Okay. And it's okay that the water is going to make my paper buckle a little because I feel like it just kind of adds to the character.
Oh, we're close, I think. Probably could have just added some green to totally neutralize the pink, but this will work.
Okay. I'm gonna get it on there kind of quick.
Well, do you want the color to be right?
I do, but I don't want to let the paper dry. I've got it all ready. But
I am working on it,
All right,
but it's
okay.
not there
Okay,
yet.
okay, okay.
I need it.
cutting my brush down because it won't fit into the cup. And I don't feel like going and finding a smaller brush. I know, it's lazy. But the scissors were here, and that's why I did it. Don't pretend like you guys don't do that sometimes. I know you do.
What?
Do things like cut the brush so it fits in the cup.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, right? Stephanie said, ooh, the sister death look. It's true. So,
Okay, that's not it either.
oh no. Yeah, that's good. Let's just add some more water to it.
All right.
Because I really just want it faint. Super, super faint.
Yeah.
This is watercolor paper, so it actually should hold up pretty well to this.
It's
I don't know how well the transfer is meant to hold up to water on paper. So I also want to be sensitive to that.
There we
Because
go.
the paper will probably start getting underneath the transfer.
And have
Okay,
a wet,
that'll
whenever
do.
you're adding,
Oh yeah, have a
to
wet
have
paper
a wet
towel.
paper towel on hand and
I
start
know that.
light.
I already knew that.
I was telling them.
Okay, fine.
All right.
Okay, moment of truth. Let me see. I'm going to give it another spritz. Let's see. And here we go. Oh yeah, I love that. That is perfect. Love it. I think the fact that it's watercolor paper is very much working in my favor.
Yeah, it's gonna be strong. But do know, you wanna be down strong, and if you're using water right after you apply a transfer, you're gonna get lift, and especially if you overwork it. So
yeah, true.
But you know what? Off-label use, we do it all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've got to sometimes experiment to, know where the limits are.
Yeah. All right. I'm going in, guys. We mixed a red that is targeting the colors in.
I don't know if you guys can really see much of a difference there, but it just added just a little bit of character, a little bit of age. And now I'm going to go around the edges kind of and spritz just the edges. And add just a little bit more around the edge.
So I'm super interested in how this is going to turn out.
That doesn't sound promising.
No, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fine.
It's going to be
There's
fine.
nothing to be concerned with here. All right.
Do you need help?
We shall see. It's down. I'm committed.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to really kind of, actually, if you could hold this side down after
Ooh,
you do, I'll hold this
okay.
and you move quick. Ooh, that's pretty.
Yeah, I like that on the edge.
And then if you wanted to lay it down, like face down on this absorbent paper with a book over top of it,
oh, that's a good
while
idea.
it dries to get some nice flatness, you can.
Ooh, I like this. Yeah. I did an edge on it. I went back in on the edge, and it just really is going to help pop that design.
Yes.
And add some depth. Okay, what do you need me to do here?
Put that face down over there and put a heavy books on it.
Okay.
Okay, if you hold that side down there, over right here, just get that pin down so we don't shift. I can come up underneath.
Okay, and create the,
some pressure.
yeah, the pressure.
Without keeping it in.
This is tricky. It's tricky.
Okay.
Ooh! It turned out!
It did!
We sound surprised!
It did! Okay, sweet.
I like that.
Yeah, me too. Do you think we should spritz and soften it?
I don't.
No?
I
Okay.
don't, but maybe it's because I'm always afraid to push further, but I'm usually glad we did. So, I don't know.
If I do, I would want to do it right after.
Right,
What if
so
I-
now,
Yeah.
do you want to test a little spot?
Yeah, let's
okay.
see.
Oh, that's nice.
That is nice.
That's nice. Do it. Do it, do it, do it.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Yeah. That's like
Yeah.
exactly what it called for. See, I'm so glad you didn't listen to me.
Yeah.
Oh,
that,
yes. That
so
that is
much
everything.
better.
That is
well,
everything.
it really engages it in the fibers better because there's a lot of texture on this. I'm gonna do this too.
It's kind of hard. Like, it doesn't look as pretty as it does in real life, I don't think, because the water parts are making it look. It looks so pretty
Yeah.
in real life. So I don't know
Okay.
what it looks like on camera, but
So
we'll show you guys when it's all finished too, so you can see the finished part. I like the way it's going on, so it's going off the trims
Yeah,
too.
me too. So now we are going to do this here
Uh-huh.
and then that
Yes.
there.
So we're breaking the pattern. This is going to be amazing. I'm feeling like both of these projects are turning out exactly how we envisioned them thus far. That is not always the case on our lives, as you know. If you have ever seen our Pavo disaster on our live, that was hilarious.
So, we're right here.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna overlap a little bit. There you go.
So then we can go back in.
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
And we are using chalk type paint for this project.
Yes. And give yourself latitude because this is not a perfect.
It's
I mean,
tricky,
it looks
but it's
fabulous.
beautiful.
But
It is beautiful. It is worth the trickiness.
yes. Now I'm gonna do.
I am really
Okay.
loving this. I mean, how many times do you like not find the lampshade you want? Honestly, it's hard to find pattern lampshades, and especially pretty patterns. Most of them are just plain. So being able to pretty up your lampshades is kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
I'm kind of loving it.
Okay, so this one now will go straight on the full thing again.
Yeah, we do it like that.
You stay. There we go.
So if you guys did see our TikTok reels yesterday on Instagram, then you know something's coming. That we have a sneak peek coming up in the next couple of weeks, and stay tuned. Watch our different platforms: Instagram, Facebook, blog, newsletter, YouTube, Pinterest. Watch all the things, and we will be releasing little tidbits. This is sneak peek week. This is teaser week, rather. And then next week and the weeks following, we will be going and showing you the full reveals. But right now, we're just leaking teasers so that you guys can get a feel for what's coming and get some excitement, and we can build that anticipation that we have for these products. You guys are gonna love them. This is our first spring release, and this is there's just some beautiful, beautiful things coming. So stay tuned for that, you guys.
Okay, so I'm just gonna tell you that I think that it's too dark, but when you go in and do that, it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't think it's too dark. But yeah, I like that watercolor effect is really different. It's pretty. So Josie's just going back in and adding more spritzing water on the areas before they're fully dry, and just kind of finding that level that she likes. And I think that's really important when you're doing DIY projects, when you're working with the stamps or the transfers, or you're distressing, or you're aging something, to not be afraid to push those limits and go one step further and really see what you like. Sometimes it's true, you go beyond the point of no return and you end up not liking it. That does happen, but then you know that for next time. And if you always play it safe, then you're really not stretching yourself. So I encourage you to have courage when you're DIYing. And that's what Josie's doing now. She's kind of seeing where those limits are and really pushing on the spritzing the water to really find out.
Yeah, it's really beautiful, but I feel like it's a lot of contrast.
Okay. Between the white and the red.
Yeah, it's gonna overpower it. Like I feel like almost a whitewash over the whole thing.
Oh yeah, that would be
something
pretty.
like that.
Okay.
Would be, because it's not having a soft toile look, and we could have chosen a softer color.
Okay.
And I think that would have been better because the overall result, I think, is going to overpower the mirror and the scene.
Okay.
What do you think? Do you not think so?
I don't know. I feel like we're losing too much with that much spritzing of the water. It's blending it out too much.
That's why I'm doing it.
I know, but I guess I liked it a little bit darker, but
Okay.
but I don't know. I mean, it's too late now.
Both ways. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I have to think about it. Let's go ahead and finish
it. And then the beauty is with this
because
type
the
of
lamp
thing,
base is coming out awesome.
I know.
Like it's on target.
So,
and I feel like I don't want to
take away from that.
Right. And have the shade not be right for it.
I hear you. So let's finish it up. Let's put it together.
Yeah.
And then we can go from there. The
Sounds
whitewashing on one hand sounds like a good idea, but I feel like you might get pink.
Yeah, it will be pink.
Yeah. But let's try it. And then if we don't like that, we'll just paint the whole darn thing and we'll
have to
do
wait
it
for it to
off
dry.
camera.
Yeah.
And then we'll show you guys the result and what we ended up doing with it.
Sounds good. Okay, so do I have to take them off and do it? Probably, if I'm gonna do it right.
Okay, I'm gonna go check on my picture.
Okay.
Okay. My picture is drying. I love the way it's coming out. You guys can see.
Just kidding.
Your lamp face was beautiful. I think this is pretty.
I'm not happy with it.
I'm sorry, but I'm happy with mine. But I do remember that there's a part of the transfer I need to finish over here. But it's pretty dry, so I think I'm gonna try it. But I honestly, I think it's coming out beautiful. I think you're just too tunnel vision on it right now. I think it's one of those projects you need to step away from and come back to. And I'm not saying stop. If you want to keep blending and blending and blending until you have just a pink shade and no pattern at all, then that's your lampshade. You do whatever you want. I tease. It's nowhere near that. There's still plenty of pattern on there. I think it's really pretty. I really do. I think it's really pretty.
I'm trying not to go too heavy-handed. Sometimes.
Okay, I'm remembering that there were some leaves unfinished that I need to cut out from another sheet within the transfer, so I'm cutting that out to finish up my leaves so that this bad boy is perfect. And
I'm not going in solid or particularly even. I'm just kind of dabbing and drawing it out.
drawing.
Drawing it out.
Drawing.
I'm liking it better than I was. Okay, so I'm gonna just sit with it.
Okay.
I mean, it looks, okay, let's do this. It actually looks good with this color-wise. but I don't know why it was just striking me as too much contrast. But you can see it.
Yeah.
It hits that mark and it's totally the right shade.
Yeah, it does. It's one of those pieces we're just going to have to kind of play with and live with and set it up and see.
Yeah. What do you think about doing this band gold? Like, because it's not it's like a raw edge band that doesn't look very nice, like gold on those.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I would do that, but I would probably, it's going to look, I think, icky if you don't take it off and get a nice clean edge on it. And I know you don't like taking it off, so that's up to you.
It's true. It's true. Okay. So we will let this dry by the fan.
I am just filling in the pieces of my transfer that were incomplete, that were on other sheets, so that my leaves don't look funky and unfinished. So I'm matching them up. Our transfers and sheets are beautifully puzzled together. It makes it very easy to do large pieces or smaller pieces. You cut them to size, cut them the way that you want them to be. But this is not a part of that. It's actually kind of fun, like putting together a puzzle. You see where the piece goes and you match it on up, and it makes it fun. Makes it nice and fun. Okay, beautiful. Finished off those leaves there. That was probably bothering some of you who were looking up close. It was bothering me too. Okay, now, does this one go right here? Yes. I'm gonna put that right there. Here's my stick. When you use your transfer stick to mix your paint and forget that you did that, and so you're getting paint all over your hand again. Never fun. But you know, when you're DIYing, you get in a hurry and you just kind of go for it, and you grab things and you just make it work. Okay, there, that finished it off. I feel so much better about it now. It is finished and it is ready to put into my glass. At least I think it is. Is it dry enough?
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it better.
I think it is. I think it's dry enough. Do you like that? You think it's ready to put in the glass?
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay.
I like it better. Do you want to know what I did?
What did you do?
We
You washed it.
I put it in the sink and I used the sprayer and I washed it off.
Oh, that's really pretty. That's crazy. It's so pretty.
It's way better.
It looks like
It
faded
looks like an old faded
fabric.
linen. Yeah.
Yes.
An old faded linen fabric. So now I literally, like, I looked over at the sink. I saw the spray nozzle.
Oh my god.
I put it in the sink. I turned the water on. I sprayed it off.
I am glad I was not in
Glad
here
it
because
did.
I would have, yeah, I would not have been down with that. Okay. I am reassembling my picture now. I'm starting, of course, with the glass. We're going to put that back in there. I should probably wash this glass. Yeah, we should. I don't know that we have glass cleaner here, though, or vinegar or anything like that.
It looks so good, doesn't it?
It's so pretty. I love it.
Should we wait and do the gold leaf edition later? Because that's kind of...
It's gold leaf. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's wait for that. That's not going to be a hugely impactful on camera anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love that the sheen makes all the difference.
Yeah. It does.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
That is so pretty. It's going to be so pretty. We're going to stage all of this, you guys, and we are going to show you the finished product. But let me put my stuff back together so you can see the finished product of my picture. And put your lampshade on. I'm being very, very careful with this glass and just holding it
It's
in
way
one.
better, but I'm still withholding judgment
Okay.
on it.
About whether it's good enough to go on your lamp.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hear you.
totally.
It has to work.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Let's see.
It's hard too because this style, the Grandmillennial style, does some very risky pattern and color mixing. That is one of the things that is fun about it. And so we knew this was going to be risky to begin with. I actually love it. I feel like it is.
It is fun.
She is singing.
It is fun.
She is in all her glory. It is fun. I could see it looking really beautiful with a different type of shade as well. More sophisticated
setting.
Yeah, it might be more sophisticated looking.
Crooked, and that always drives me. Yeah, is that better?
Yeah, that's better. What do you guys think? I love it. I think it's beautiful. What would you do with this shade? Would you keep that, or would you try something that is more in line with the sophistication of the base? Tell me in the comments what you guys think. Okay, I'm putting the glass in. Now I'm gonna
Oh, it's always those staples in the way. You gotta be careful.
I know. I am being super careful. Famous last words, I know. Yes, this one staple is giving me problems here. Oh, that rose is so pretty. I'm so excited to get this together. Here. Knock those back in place. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. That's a little better. There, popped right in that time. Okay, here we go. We're gonna take our 2 tag words that we took out initially. Get those ready. Face this baby down.
Make sure that it's facing the right direction.
Oh,
There's a hanger on the back already.
yes. I do that all the time. Do you guys do that? Oh, it's so frustrating too because you get it put all back together and then you have to do it over again. Thank you, sister.
You're welcome.
Okay, there we go.
We did some testing with that same grass green on the board, or like jade green. It's very fresh, isn't it?
Yes, I really love the colors in this movement. They are colors that I often use in my own home. Okay, I think that is that. And now I can put it back together. Might be on battery.
Yeah, I feel like you can make it work, but it's not.
With that new lamp.
The lamp is not self-actualizing with this shade.
That is a good way to put it.
That's my total honest. You know us. We're real.
Yes.
We're not gonna. Who has been ever to the hair salon and gotten your hair done? Oh, that looks so pretty.
Look, you guys. I have to finish doing the tags on the back, but look at how this turned out. Do you guys see this? Just the feel of this kind of like cottage maximalism type feel. It's just so pretty.
Hold that.
I'm loving it.
There,
Okay, yeah.
I want to see some of these pieces
Can you
together.
see it? Yeah, you can see it. I'm looking. so pretty. I am in love with this, you guys. Thank you so much
Now, when you see the
for being
pieces
here with us.
come together, right?
I love it.
But the shade's gonna go. The shade's
Yeah,
gonna get a new shade.
okay.
It's not enough. It's not good enough.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
It's not good enough.
Everything else is nailed, so let's
Yeah.
not
Let's
have
not
the shade
compromise on the shade.
drag us down.
We'll figure out something else for the shade. If you
Yeah.
guys have ideas, mention them in the comments. We will look over those and see if we can't come up with something awesome for this shade.
Yeah.
Okay? We're going to make sure she's got a beautiful hat on.
That's right.
Her accessories have to be perfect.
Yes. So now I'm gonna steal this plain one and put it on it.
Okay. I think that's a fabulous idea. I'm just finishing this,
I'm swapping
putting
it out
this together.
just for now because so we can see
Let
it
them
prettier.
see what it looks like with a regular shade.
Yeah.
And then we should let them go because they've hung in there with us for about an hour and a half.
That's true. This shade is a little too small.
Many
You
of
can
you
get by
are
with
getting
it, but it's a little
din-dins
too
ready.
small. I think a bigger shade would be better.
Yeah, a bigger shade would
Definitely.
be ready.
But
Better,
it
but-
looks better than the other one for now.
Yeah, it does. It's very pretty. Honestly, you know what I think would work? I know you're probably hesitant to try again, but I
Today?
think not today. Not today. But to stamp it in green.
That would work.
I
That
think
would work.
Still doing a stamp.
That
Maybe
would
not the
be
same
more
stamp.
subtle.
Yeah, I think
In a
it
light
would.
green.
And yeah,
In a light green. That would look nice.
yeah.
I like that idea.
I think that would be pretty. But maybe we'll
Start
come
off
up
with
with other
a color
ideas
that's
too.
a light shade. Yeah. That would be like
I just think the contrast was too much.
it was. It was. Yeah, right in this.
Yeah. Yep. I like that. I think you're right. Okay. She's finished. I love this. I love the way this came out. This is such a fun thrift haul and upcycling day, you guys. You made this so much fun. This is so pretty. You got paint on our plate.
So good. So I did.
Okay. Anyway, thanks for joining us, you guys. We will see you soon. Stay tuned and check out our other platforms and everything for the new release coming.